Hey guys, I'm out here today and I'm gonna tear these tomato plants out, and I might tear out some of my pepper plants too. Some of them are not producing no more flowers, so I think they're about done. Pardon all the construction noise you hear, but they're building a house behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear these tomato plants out. There's still lots of flowers on here, but they won't have time to do anything. I know there's still at least one tomato on this. Look, y'all, this is crazy. Oh, there's one. I don't know if it'll ripen inside or not, but I'll save it and see. Give it a shot anyway. And this thing is about like a tree. Creepy. Tomato. It's not rot, it's like a rust. I think it might still be good. Found a pepper hiding under there. Okay. This one I started from a, this one still has tomatoes on it. It's got some cracking on it. And some little bitty tomatoes. There's quite a few on this plant. My peppers are going to like this, being able to breathe. Okay, so my peppers look better. So these still have flowers on this one. See, there's still flowers down here. This one does not have flowers on it. See, there's no flowers on this one, but there's still some peppers. So I'm going to let them get red, or at least start to turn red. So I'd say probably, I don't know, in about a week, I'll come in and pull this one up. My Poblanos are still doing real good. Right here, my poblano. It is almost chest high. Still has plenty of flowers on there. Still has fruit on there. I just seen one. I just come through yesterday or day before yesterday and harvested a whole bunch of them. But this is like a tree. And I don't know if I can overwinter it or not. But if I can save this, I'm going to try to. Because it is the healthiest plant that I've had all year. I mean, yeah, it took a while for it to start producing, but once it did, it's done really good. I mean, and there's all kinds of fruit on here, or peppers on here. Still flowers, new flowers coming, so I'm extremely happy with this plant. So I'm going to try and see if I can overwinter it. I had planted to the right of this pepper plant. I had planted some rutabagas down here, and squirrels ate them. But there's something down here, and I think it might be at least 2 rutabaga plants down here. I think that's a weed. That's a weed. That's a weed. So, yeah. There's 3 plants down here that had been chewed on. But I'm going to give them a go and see what happens with them. Over here, these here are my habaneros. No more flowers. Well, it's gonna make a liar out of me, y'all. There's some more flowers coming on. So I guess we're gonna save this and see what happens. I picked a couple of peppers off of here the other day, but there's still, I don't know, about 10 on here that needs to get bigger. And now I see these are like teeny tiny microscopic little flowers on there. But now that I'm down here close enough and looking at them, it's quite a few. So I'm going to leave that. Okay, this right here is my mushroom reds. There is a few flowers on there, but just a few fruit. So maybe the second wave will be a little bit better. And this second plant over here that hasn't done much of anything, it's now got flowers on it. So maybe when this one's done, this one will start doing more. My butternut squash, that's as big as it's gotten. Smaller than my fist. But it's starting to turn colors now. Okay, my cayenne peppers. I don't think I'll ever get all of them off. There's so daggone many of them. And still producing lots of flowers. Some flowers, not as many. So, I guess I'm leaving my peppers in. I thought for sure I'd pull one, but still got a little bit of basil trying to grow down here. My thyme over here is still going. It's slow, but it's going. These here's the pumpkins I planted 2 weeks ago. Well, it was August 20th that I planted these pumpkins. So it's been about 3 weeks, I think. I'm going to check my carrots under here. I water them every day and get the rocks off this board. Maybe we'll see some germination. Oh, maybe one. Let me get where I can show you. Does that look like one to y'all? Can you see it? I don't know, y'all. Maybe a little bit. There's something right there. I see some roly-poly bugs under here too. Okay, so I covered them back up. Put the rocks back on them. Hold that moisture in. But I'm excited about my pumpkins. If these carrots here don't do, then I'm not going to start any until February or March, because I'm not going to keep fighting them, and I'll just use the bed for something else. And these beans, these lima beans, I thought they would all get done at the same time. There's plenty down here, but they're not filling out. See how that one's flat and that dark green in the middle and a light green on the outside? Well, there's nothing in there. There's something in that one, but it's very thin. Okay. This one here, see how it's all light green? Or mostly all light green? There's something in there. I just don't know when to... I know there's nothing in the pod, so I don't want to harvest them. And then I have some over there that's turning brown. I've been saving those as dry beans. So, I'm learning with these beans, y'all. My beautiful, beautiful corn. I keep shaking, trying to get them to pollinate. But yeah, the beans down here are starting to do some good too. Little flowers, some beans on the other side, real teeny tiny ones. So, got my cantaloupes, a little baby one right there that's getting ready. I just turned it, but it's got good webbing on it. I turned it so it wouldn't maybe be flat on one side. My peas and collards and rutabagas. No germination yet on the ones that I just planted, but my other peas starting to come on up. The first batch that I planted, so maybe they'll take off here shortly. My potatoes that I had in them baskets, the ants got them. They're done for. Let's see, anything else? Cucumbers, I don't think they're going to get big enough before it turns cold, but they're still trying. This jalapeno plant's still going strong. Bell pepper, I'm going to give it another week or two. I've gotten two very small, like very small, an inch or 2 inches size bell peppers off of it. So I'm going to give it another week or two, and then I'm going to call it on that. And this is the bed that I put the onions in. I ain't seen nothing yet of those. I'm going to give it about another week. And that's the stuff I just got off of the tomato plants. But I've been sitting in there trying to decide how I'm going to do things next year. And trying to plan out how many of each plant. And this year, or next year, I think what I'm going to do is, well, I want to plant a whole bunch of tomato plants and pepper plants. I think there's like 20 different there's probably about 6 or 7 different varieties of peppers that I want to plant. But I need to plant about 20 plants to get what I want, or be close. And tomatoes, I think I've got 7 or 8 different varieties, and it's close to like 30 plants that I want. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. Most of the tomatoes that I'm planting next year are indeterminate, so that means that we're going to have to build more beds or put trellising up on the beds that are existing already and plant everything else along the fence, because around this fence is not going to hold all the tomatoes. I think I had 8 or 9 plants around the fence this year, and they were just overcrowded. So I don't know, I've been thinking about it. Are you already thinking about next year? I need to be thinking about the fall, so what I need to be thinking about. But there ain't really much I can do until other stuff is done. And I still need to plant lettuce and spinach. And I know that next year I want to try and put the butternut squash on these trellises that are here, and maybe put the cucumbers on these, put something else in that little box. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, guys, because I don't really have a lot to show y'all, or there's nothing to harvest because we're waiting, and there's nothing to plant. Well, I mean, I got this space back here, but I want to do each crop together, so I don't want to split it up just because I'm waiting on my pepper plants to come out. I don't want it chopped up like that. I want to plant like all the lettuce together and all the spinach together, stuff like that, so it's not broke up and scattered all over the garden. So next year it's going to be all consistent. One bed's going to be one thing, one and done kind of thing. And I'm going to use my bigger beds over there for beans and corn. And I don't think I'm going to use the baskets to do my potatoes in next year. I don't like how that worked. And it just seemed like they weren't holding enough moisture. So that's one thing I'm going to change. And my strawberry plants, I'm going to put them in one bed. And that's going to be their forever home. So that's one bed I don't have to worry about changing out and waiting for stuff to grow so I can plant something else. It'll just be one designated box for strawberries. And then I can set up a system to cover them during the winter time and all that. But there's still so much stuff that I need to research about the stuff that I planted this year, like my blueberry bushes and my raspberry bush. I need to research about it to find out when I need to prune them back. And I know they probably should get a good dose of fertilizer before it turns brutal cold. So I'll check into that. Yeah. And my flowers up front, I need to get busy trying to figure out what needs to go in the ground before frost, so I can get that ready too. But anyway, Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know it's not very interesting, but just sitting here rambling. Had nothing to do, so I thought I'd share it with y'all. But if you like my content, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.